Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to episode 13 of Sithlonia. Today, well, the construction on the waterworks will continue. We have a lot of work at our hands, and a lot of people will start living in the pump quarter, as it is now aptly named. It is a new year ahead of us. We have the reconstruction of the Sithalon mine behind us, and the people from the guild are very, very unhappy about our shortcomings in the previous years. It's not as easy as we have thought. They were outraged about us, and it is okay that we give them all our Sithalon for this month, but we better think of other significant sacrifices to quench the thirst of our overlords, and we shall better prepare our next renovations better than that. So, that means, in game terms, that I will have to put down a total sum of extra 100,000 denarii with the next sacrifice. So, we'll see where and how we're going to grab that material. I think cut stone will bleed. We'll see about that. As you see, the guild hasn't given us the right to lead a city just to then break our agreements. It's just like that. We shall understand. You're sincerely the guild. We're going to conquer these people as a proper response to that in apt time. But before that, well, Sithlonia needs to thrive. And it is a minor issue for us. Yeah, the cut stone will be dearly missed, I guess. But beyond that, we will get ahead of that. So, the work on the pump quarter is not really finished yet, so I'm not going to give any further jobs here along the lines before all of the pumps are ready and finished. And, want to make sure that we got this. And I also wanted to mention that if you have any ideas what this story could also include, I'm very happy to hear your ideas about storytelling events or these. I just realized in the previous episode while reading a very lovely comment that this can be a lot of fun if we get a lot more ideas in there, like our special tax because of our shortcomings. Well, Sithalon is, I feel like we're mining really only a low amount, but that's only a quarter of a year over. I'm just growing impatient now, just as my darned overlords. Well, the city itself thrives quite decently, except for the fact that we are seeing a depletion on the stockpiles of food. This is surely not as good for the people as it could be, but it's also not really a disaster. I do see, though, that there is a higher criminality rate. Vandalism, thefts even. Jeez, that's troublesome news. But I mean, I am not too surprised. The entire northern quarter is just not under any guard watch. And even the Sithalon mine doesn't have any proper guards. So I'd say this is what we're going to have to deal with today and expand on that part of the service grid. So this is as huge as they can get. And I'd say we are going to bring down one to the Sithalon mine, as I really think this is, well, about time. And we are, of course, going to put one to the pump quarter and the fields so that they will know that law and order is not lost on the city in these areas either. So let's pick up more people and let's hope that the injustice will succeed. I don't know if we need more scaffolds and alike, but I don't think we do. I think we're our executive here is actually on a pretty good level. We need, if anything, more staff on the guard posts. Alright. This also eats up some of that cut stone that we are now planning to give away to pay our bills, but, well, we'll see how that'll play out. On the other hand now, let's see, our irrigation systems are going ahead so nicely. I think our, well, here's a bit of a lag still, but yeah, of course, this ain't connected to the rest of the grid. Duh. That's a good reason for it not to be sufficiently powered. Alright, very happy with what we're seeing here, huh? Or at least I am. Let's recruit a couple of people more, and we're going to wait until the guard posts are constructed. So the year 25 sees a lot of repressive actions in the city of Cephalonia. More guards, more security, and most importantly, more bad mood due to the many things that the taxes now put on our shoulders. The northern guard post is not finished as of yet. We need to produce more of the leather armor, so I'm going to postpone that. But I bet it's the gangs on the river here that are responsible for the problems, criminality-wise. So, let's see where we have that housing problem. Yeah, some pump workers ain't got a home, so let's expand on this wonderful little alley here. Always makes me happy to come to this place. So, let's fix up a couple of... Oh, we can't build more benches here, but we can build some here again. And there. There we go. Alright, so far, I'm very happy with Cephalonia. It's a wonderful city that thrives just excellently, and we still got so much room for improvement here. So, yeah, the cotton field irrigation is also done. So, let's see, our production last year was 2,000. Fertility 75, fertility 86, fertility 62. Well, like I said the other day, I'm assuming that fertility spreads over time, but we might also just lengthen that bit. Ref control to lengthen. Or tell you what, we're going to make an experiment here. So, culvert. Let's see. I really still suffer from the question, how much distance does a culvert cross? But what I'm trying to do here with that system is, how does the fertility spread compared to this system? So we're doing some proper agricultural science here, huh? How about that? So, it's time to do some technology. I really need to get into the drink industry. That means we need to get into pottery. I think it is safe to say that the easiest way to get there for us will be to import clay, create pottery, and upgrade our food stalls with that, and then start brewing our booze. So I'm just unlocking the necessary things for that. So, that also means we're going to require a new industry, a new part for imports, and yeah, lots of goodies. So let's see, our export depots are here. Our import depots, we have, by the way, imported precious machinery that I should really use sometime soon. And here, these are all busy, so we're building a new one. So, I also meant to check with one of those pumps. So we're upgrading one now with machinery. There we go. So yeah. Let's see. It's only 2 workers at that point, which is really good. And it seems as if the work value is higher. Which resolves... That would be amazing. I mean, that would be just a slight increase over time, but it is an increase. So, yeah, there's a crime spree in town. Vandalism. So much vandalism and theft. Yeah. It's about time that we get that guard post up there going. So, I'll be withdrawing 10 of the workers here from the woodcutters, from the carpenter's workshop. We do need more workers in general. And we're going to employ 5 more people on the leather armor making duty so that the guard post up there can be completed in time. Alrighty. So, the good news first, the culverts are carrying the water just as intended. Let's see. I mean, let's put that one here in between, because we see here that there is a... Oh, that's how it... Look at it. They blink if they are connecting to each other. Huh! Anyways, so... we're building that one, and I want to see if we have a higher fertility spread, but I assume the best way to do it might be, at the end of the day, to just have a long canal running alongside of the field, as this will result in the highest amounts of things. Fertility. Alright, so I want to stop my exports on the grain. I am rather letting it rot on the fields now than selling it, as we are now working our way towards the booze production. And that does mean that we'll need a lot more grain than before. That's for sure. Therefore, we are going to go and add in here. Oh. This place is already cram-filled. Damn. So, upgrading this place, I could afford it. But that would really change a lot of things here, huh? Would it? Well, let's do it nevertheless. So, we have now much higher stockpiles due to that. We can now reduce the amount of crates here by a lot, as we don't need to store that much stuff here. Maybe with the grain, yeah, but there we go. 1,500 drink is all we need. And, well, let's store like 600 clay for starters. Probably would have been smarter to put that import depot up there, so tell you what, that's what we're going to do. As logistically, it will really make a huge difference. So, we're going to put the import depot here, and then the goods can be transported rather into this direction. I find that much more feasible. So, let's go for the pottery. Well, where will the pottery be? I mean, why not put it down next to the warehouse where it's actually... where things are actually happening? What speaks against that? My water network. So, no. We are going to build the workshop rather into this direction. You see, I don't want my water works interfere with the... or I don't want my waterworks being interrupted by a random workshop. That's how I want to put it. As this would really be quite an issue here for our agricultural enterprises back there. Okay, enough about that. Let's get started with the pottery. I think this is an excellent building here. Winter is coming. We have a huge amount of Cephalon in our stockpiles. It's good. So, 25 workers. I really hope that we're going to get the auxiliaries in there to reach maximum efficiency. So 83. Yeah, we are going to be fine, I bet. Let's put that down here, and big fat storage up front, so we have a nice amount of resource to work with. There we go. I think this will be a nice pottery. And as you see here, resource-wise, the pottery is a real cheap one. We are going to start building our buildings now more and more out of stone, as Cefalonia is now growing into a more and more sophisticated and proud city. We don't need to build everything out of wood anymore. Or at least so goes the plan. I mean, as a matter of fact, we don't have any quarries, and at some point we might even get into the situation where we'd need to import stone because we sold it all the way. But that, we don't talk about that here. Alright. Does take a while for the guard post to be completed, but that's okay. I mean, the good part is that the crime spree will subside at some point as we have this completed, and then the happiness will snatch back up due to that. In the meantime, we are going to put down some extra torches. Here we go. The city needs light, my fellow Dondorians. There we go. Spread some happiness with those beardos. Make your local beardo happy. Speaking about happy beardos, we got a bathhouse down there. So we're spreading some light in these horribly shaped tunnels there. Surely will be appreciated. Here we go. Couple of little projects that will make Dondoria a little bit more lively down there. Now then, mud imports. Who would have thought that we'd be importing mud? But yeah, that's what it boils down to. That stuff is costly. Sheesh. I didn't expect such a high pricing on that. Damn it. Well, it is what it is. We need it. Otherwise, we cannot get our pottery going. And no pottery, no booze. It is just that simple. Alright, but I want to make the brewery somewhere around this area. So, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Let's do the brewery right next to the execution spot. Alright, let's stick with a building plan like that. Somehow like these for this city. There we go. We're going to apply our usual principles of workforce stacking. 24 employees, I think that is okay. You can always make them bigger, sure, but I'm personally much more a big fan of just providing another building, upgrading it. This game is full of building space. Usually you really don't have that much of a big deal there. Jeez, this is I probably already have made it too large, worker-wise, I mean. As we here will need this room here in the front. This is going to be the storage, so I think we gotta be ripping out a couple of these to get the auxiliaries in. Yep. So there we go, 100%. I'm going to put it down rather like that. So that's going to be rather costly on the pottery side and on the furniture side as well, but it is okay. After all, this is sort of a long-term project. So we crank up the amount of carpenters again, and you see, the introduction of alcohol serves as a little bit of a counter-agent to the introduction of more law and order into the city, you know? You got more cops, but you also got booze. So, are you really modern? I don't think so. Thank you. So, that's the basic idea. As it stands with the current version of the game, you don't need to have taverns for making people happy drunk. They'll just pick up their drink rations like they pick up their food rations, and then they will go for that. So, the Dondorians, they grow a tad bit happier. Everybody grows a tad bit happier, as there has been an execution, no? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's not the execution. Maybe it's just the crime rate going down. Could be very much the case. So, people are uneasy if there's something like that. And in a community of just almost 600 people, you will notice that, you know? Everybody knows everybody. So, yeah, I don't know. That does look a wee bit better than before, does it? But let's do the final thing here. And I mean, if this front here is then all blinky shiny, we know that it is how I thought it is. But I really need these experiments to know what we're dealing with here. Alright, more humans, please. Alright, we will need, though, some increase of food production at a certain time in the near future. I mean, those pastures, they really come along quite nicely, and our food stockpiles are that low that I feel like we're positively consuming all the stuff that we're producing, but I also figured that maybe we're stopping with the Auroch and starting the Entelodont, as the Entelodont pasture is meat only, and obviously that is effective for us. So we're going to go for just another pasture right next door here, as this will make it dirty, cheap, and easy for us to just prolong the irrigation, you know? This way, this building will have a lot of access to sweet water, and we got what we need. There we go. So we're now in the pork business, you know? Or at least that's how I read the Entelodont. It's just a fancy word for a pig. Now, let's put this on a brush, and let's start twiggling a road towards here. And we're going to expand on the canals left and right, so there's plenty of work to go around. It is just very important, in my humble opinion, that we are going to try and expand on our food production like that. And boy, water is fun. I feel a little bit ashamed about the fact that I wasn't playing around with water more before, but you know, it took a while for me to click and let it sink in. Quite often like that. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just need that kind of time. Anyways, so we will need a huge workforce to get both of these workshops going in full swing. So that'll be quite something. And I do know that both of these workshops will be really important as well. So yeah. Luckily, we got 36 hands available, and the year 25, the busy year 25 is coming to an end. So we have to go to Jackster the 8, the Dignified, and do some diplomacy. So our Cephalon income was way higher than usual, but we also need to dump in enough of that. Luckily, our entire stockpile of cut stone is sufficient, but I gotta say, Jackster, we are going to weigh it out exactly. 178. Not a single little effing stone more. Here you go. our debts have been paid. The only thing left to do is we gotta crank up the workforce. Again, something like 10% is okay. And next year, we just have to export, gift away only 10% of our Cephalon, 90% of our Cephalon, because the guild is always generous and friendly to us. Now then, we settled that dispute. That's okay for me. Let's hope we're not going to hear back from our bosses anytime too soon. And let's continue constructing this wonderful little city. I mean, with that kind of fertility now on our hands, this has become a lot more powerful. I mean, I am even tempted here to... we're not tempted, we're actually going to do that. So we're going to expand that canal network a little bit more like that. Oops, that was what I wanted. And as far as I see, my plebs are just walking over those canals like they're just regular ground. That is good. So all my sorrows that these crossings over roads are merely decorational, as it seems. So yeah. Probably we could just whip down a canal directly down to the bathhouse and it would be dandy. Anyways, we're not going to do that today. Just noticed that. Alright, pottery is done. And yeah, I think we're going to go with the auto-employment scheme here. That sounds like a decent choice. The thing is about pottery, if we ever come into the situation where we don't need all that pottery, by all means, we can just start exporting it. That stuff is so darn valuable that we'll have an easy time fetching us some good money for that. So let's see, we're selling pottery for 119. Let's see how the ratios here are for real. You see, sometimes trade is more effective than other times. So we're only going to export if we are above 90%. So our import is for 38 per piece of mud. So our production here is... Can we actually see that? So roughly 2 pieces of mud per piece of pottery. So yeah, that sounds like a increase in value in total. Pretty much so. Yeah, totally. It's worth calculating, but most of the time the refined product is bringing you in more money than the unrefined product. That's in most of the cases true. Alright, let's see if our food production withstands our population's hunger still. It does. That's a good thing. Let's see. We finally got that part down. So we can now lower the amount of leather armor makers to a mere 1. Yeah, I really don't need it that badly right now. I need my workers elsewhere much more desperately. So we're going to keep it like that for now. Alright. So we're not producing the booze yet, but we are pretty much hitting the spot where we are capable of brewing the beer. So I think I also should import more mud, as we are currently chucking through that stuff in a really fast rate. I mean, they're using 102 units per day. That burns through the 300 that we got in 3 days. That's really a lot. But on the bright side, we're also building that brewery darn fast, so really don't want to complain in the slightest. This is, in my opinion, just really good. As the pottery production, I think it will be a really good industry after all, as we will be getting that stuff really well on the market. We will even earn money if we produce too much pottery, so bang on. On the bright side, too, we can then upgrade our food stalls finally and increase the quality of these, so we will also make our citizens happier. There's going to be a revolution of quality of life here in Cephalonia, but not today. That's gonna wait until the next episode. I thank you all for watching. It is my pleasure. I really enjoyed this series a lot, and I hope you guys are with me for the next one as well. Drop me your comments, leave me a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and check out the description box. It's stock filled with good links leading to my Discord, to my Twitch, where I stream each Sunday evening, and there's also Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee. I'd be delighted if you'd give them a look. A big thanks to everybody supporting the channel. You guys are truly, truly amazing, and I deeply appreciate what you're doing there. And I also want to say thanks to everybody watching this video here, as this is also a very fine form of support that I deeply appreciate. That all being said, have a wonderful time, you all. See you all on the next one, and let's finish that road. Bye-bye.